All right, next step is transaction logs. Is a board when you can view all transactions made to the platform by the customers or participants, and you can review them. You can find it on the left. It is called transactions. Also, it should be available also here payments and donation. That depends what kind of transactions are people was making. Let's jump there. Here we have a list of all transactions made by uh, participants during the web or mobile registrations. We don't have here the transactions made offline. We're using the physical tickets yet, but it will be in the near future. But having this view, you already see the status of the all type of transaction we have here. I will start with the filters because they will explain a lot in short time. So of course we can put the participant name if we already know it. Participant ID is the unique ID that also participant have it during the registration, and they'll got it in the email that you can ask for. Uh, there's also type of the payment, of course, not the participant, is a payment, booking, or donation. So mostly the time we are using the payment type because we are selling the ticket, even those for free. For example, here at the bottom, you'll see the tickets free for all was sold for amount zero and is a type of payment, of course. The donation is used when someone is putting their donations to our fundraise, and those transactions also be visible here with that type. Next is the status. So the first of all is unpaid and paiding, right? So when is we start the payment transaction on the client side, so client is going to the form, and then you switch it to Stripe to fulfill the payment. They have a pending status, and depends what happened later on. It could be a paid status, failed, unpaid after if something is was happening wrong, and that's all. Those three less four status will help us to fulfill filter out them that we are not interested in. Next one is mode. This coming directly from the Stripe. Also the mode is payment that are interested at the beginning, and the manual when the import of transactions are done manually by the organizer, or it was a file upload that I'll describe a little bit later with the transactions details by the customers. For example, people that upload the confirmation of their bank transfer donation to the foundation account, for example, and you are organizer, you can approve it or not. But mostly it's the payment one. And subscriptions, it will be a payments if someone have a subscription in your organization, but this is and setup is not covered yet in this tutorial section. This will be do it later on. Next one is like the attachment is with that transaction. As I mentioned just a second before, people can upload the transaction confirmation file, as a screenshot or a PDF file within this transaction during the executing the form, and you can filter out those the transaction to review those files and check if the confirmation file is exactly what the participant is aiming for. For example, if he said that he transferred 10 euros, the confirmation file should confirm that in the end. And you as organizer is doing that by hand. And of course, you can filter out by the amount, transaction ID. The transaction ID also the participant will get in the email. So if he doing a transfer bank account through the Stripe platform or whatever, any kind of payments, it also will receive an email with the transaction status, and there's a ID. So if someone from your participant will complain about some kind of transaction issues and so on, he cannot pay it, you can ask them about the transaction ID that she should get in the email, and then you can filter out here to find out what happened, and of course the dates of the during the the transfer, right? Like the all as I will mention in 2 seconds. So we have also bank import. You can import a file from the bank directly, and of course you can match transaction. You can match the participants or not, but this all will come later. So as I mentioned at the beginning, here's a table with all basic details that you are going to need, but you can view the more details here, right? Depends of the transaction type, it will be more or less the details, and of course the status. And if this the type of this is like the manual one, as I mentioned, the mode it will be manual one mentioned here. You will be able to change the status of the transaction to paid or not paid or rejected, depends of the transaction. Of course, you can export it to the CSV file or Excel file, and then you can do some magic on that file outside of the KajGO. But if, for example, you have a fundraise and you collect the information about the participant that paid some fundraise to the foundation account, you can import them. Actually, we cover two banks type because each bank has own export file type, even if it's a CSV file. So, for example, we have two banks like ING and Bank Polski. But if there will be a request from you as organizer to cover other banks types, there's no problem at all. We prepared easy to adopt a solution to add more features here. So for the transaction perspective, that's all. Let's jump to another topic that will help you for managing the event.